Welcome to the LeGreen Show. Tonight we have a rather sad story out of Bradenton, Florida. It's about a young girl, 11 years old, Jania Thomas. DCF, which here in Florida stands for the Department of Children and Family, went to remove all 5 kids of Kaishana Thomas on Friday, this past Friday, but they only was able to find 4 kids. When asked about 11-year-old Jania, Miss Thomas was mum. She did not tell them anything. So they took her into custody. Well, when the news became public and her family heard about Jania missing, the grandmother said, I remember a while back, Kishana brought a padlock freezer. Let me check that freezer. So she and some other family members broke the lock on that freezer, and sure enough, unfortunately, the deceased Jania was in there. She apparently had been missing for a year, so I'm not sure what excuse she gave them during the holidays. Where was Jania to the family? I don't know. But anyway, parents, I'm not telling you to not correct your kids. The Bible gives specific direction on discipline and correction. Proverbs 13:24 tells us to spare not the rod. If you do, you can spoil the child. So it's important to discipline a kid, but there's a difference between discipline and punishment, abuse. I mean, it's one thing to use a little belt, a little paddle. That's what the butt is there for. And it's a different thing. So back in the days, you had to go climb a tree, get one of those branches. Oof. I shiver just thinking about it. And you kind of bring it down, and that's what your mom and dad spank you with. So thank God we're not in those days. But it's important to discipline your kids. In fact, I have often said that I'd rather hear of a few abuse than this entire generation of ours, or most of the generation of our young people, go to waste. So parents, here is some advice. If you cannot control your kid, maybe you need a timeout. Take a little timeout. Don't discipline your kid when they're angry. If for some reason you seem not able to control your kid, call grandma and auntie and tell them, hey, you mind keeping troublemaker for a day or two, a week? And if they say no, call DCF, Department of Children Affairs. After all, they're the ones that really own your kids. Unfortunately, since you cannot legally spank your kids and discipline them as the Bible recommends, it's not what my recommendation, it's what the Bible recommends, then, call DCF. They are the ones that are really in charge of your kids. So it's important to seek help when you need it. Next sad story, unfortunately, from Chicago, is about 6 or 3-year-old boys that were playing cops and robbers. And I don't quite understand how 3-year-old might have been beating the 6-year-old, but somehow the 6-year-old decided, Dad's showing where the gun was. And he told me it's for adults. Let me try it out. And sure enough, he went on top of the fridge, got the gun, and shot his 3-year-old brother in the head. One shot, dead. I tell people, kids, I think because of these video games that they play, all they need is one shot, and that's it. Next person is dead. I could tell you stories after story of these pre-teens just shooting one time, boom, and the unfortunate other party is dead. Cops had to shoot Michael Brown, what, 5-6 times before he dropped dead? Not with these preteens. They are pretty brutal. So a very sad story. His father was arrested and he's out on bail. But here are some lessons to gun owners. Keep your gun locked up in a combination lock box, not a key lock box. A key lock box, your kid could get to the key. You can come home in a drunken stupor with the key around your neck and your kid can take the key. So get a combination lock box that only you, and if your wife into guns, knows the combination. I am not telling you not to carry a gun. I believe in the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms. But if you're not going to do so responsibly, then it may be wise not to carry or own a gun in the house. Another thing, the NRA may say they don't want no more rules. Well, I think partially true. They should go ahead and enforce the ones that we have. But I do believe that all 50 states should have background check when you purchase a gun. And if unfortunately you have a child that have some kind of mental issue, artistic, whatever, it probably would be wise, there should be a law not to own guns in the house. Perhaps I can probably live with the idea of one rifle in that home, but no handguns whatsoever if your child has some kind of bipolar mental issue. That should be no. So many kids' lives could have been saved, especially in Sandy Hook, if people had taken that advice. All right, now on a lighter note, Jim Webb, thank you, sir. He did as I advised last week, and he dropped out of the race. Unfortunately, though, he said he might come back as an independent. Well, maybe I wasn't clear enough last week. Sir, we thank you very much for your service to our country, but we want you to enjoy your retirement. So we don't want you to run as a Republican, a Democrat, a liberal, a conservative, a Nazi, a communist, or a socialist, nothing. We just want you to enjoy your retirement, sir. Well, the big story of the day is Uncle Joe, our vice president, have decided that the time has passed and he's no longer interested in running for president of the United States. I believe a very wise decision, and I am not surprised. I did not think at all he was going to run. If he was going to run, he would have started his campaign a long time ago, and unfortunately, due to the death of his son, I believe all energy and strength had passed. So, Uncle Joe, come next year, Uh, I hope you too enjoy your retirement with your beautiful wife. So, this means that Secretary Hillary Clinton, her numbers is gonna rise. I'm sure Sanders' one's gonna go down. And I'm sure Carly Fiorina, hers is gonna go down also. Because I believe she did a great job during the last debate. Her numbers were extremely high. I believe she came second or third. But they have since dropped, and I think in part because of the last Democratic debate, when people saw Secretary Hillary Clinton joke and smile with the cameras, and they say, wow, what a difference. Who would we rather have as president? California, that looks like an angry white woman, or Hillary Clinton, that is married to our brother Bill Clinton? I don't know. I don't know. Well, we still have a long way for election day, so we'll see what happens. Well, you take care, be good to yourself, hug your kids tonight, tell them that you love them. So long.